Hello everybody, today I will introduce a spiritual journey. Currently I finished reading a book by James Finley. Didn't. This is a book and the title is The Healing Path. The author James Finley, and James Finley is a ex-monk, Catholic monk, and he is a psychologist and a specialist on human psychology, and and so. But this book is not a kind of a psychological guidebook or a mental health, and so this book is about autobiography. James Finley's autobiography and his healing path. So, James Finley was a victim of domestic violence by his father, and his father was a so violent man, and his father attacked his wife and his children, and so James Finley often was hated by him, and those violent environments impacted his identity, his personality, his character, and he wounded by those environment, and he tried to hide into the deep of his heart. So he tried to escape from his father, and he went to the deep of his heart, and he hid into himself, and he called it inner child, and so he nurtured his inner child. He fed his inner child, and in the depths of his heart, he can encounter God. He encounter the deepest feeling of contemplation. But he was only a child. So it is a very mysterious experiences. And this book is about a spiritual journey. And James Finley is a Catholic, and he decided to become a monk, priest, and he entered the monastery, and in the monastery he encountered Thomas Merton, and he when he was a high school student, he looked up to Thomas Merton's book, and he wanted to meet Thomas Merton, and he decided to become a monk. And Thomas Merton directly teach him something, but of course it is a very mysterious and useful experiences for me, and Thomas Merton is a hero. Thomas Merton is a hero of him, and James Finley decided to leave the monastery. So there was a corrupt priest, and a cruel priest raped him. So it is a very dangerous experiences. So James Finley was a victim of sexual abuse of a priest, Catholic priest, and So, of course, these cruel experiences impact his mind and his mental health and various those experiences ruin his mental stability, and he called it trauma. And so this book is not kind of a guidebook for healing trauma, but this book just depict what trauma is. And I have various trauma in my experiences, and so I I have sympathy with him. Of course, my trauma is relatively small compared to James Finley's, but yeah, I often circle back to the point where I feel pain. I strongly feel pain, and so I sometimes shout because of my trauma, because of my so some imagination flash back to my mind, and I shouted, and so so in this book, James Finley described he often circle back to the point where he feel uncomfortable or pain. He feel strong pain in his heart, and but he don't regard it negatively, but he positively accept those trauma or process circling back to the point, and he accept his whole thing, and he turn back to his inner child, and to feel his inner child, he develop his spirituality. So inner child, feeling inner child matter for developing inner spiritual ability, and so he described the meeting of God as an ultimate dimension. And so, without the trauma, without the feeling of his inner child, he cannot meet with God. He cannot feel the ultimate dimension in his inner world. We have all inner world, and but sometimes we are confined into ourselves. We are confined to our inner world. But we don't need to negatively diffusing those conditions. We sometimes run away from the real world, and we escape to our inner world. But our inner world leads us to the ultimate dimension. So, of course, he is a Catholic believer, and so without his faith, he cannot encounter the ultimate dimension, and ultimate dimension. So feeling the ultimate dimension is contemplation. Contemplation is a higher limb of spiritual experiences, and contemplation deeply relate to our wound, our pain, our trauma. without feeling pain, without feeling suffering, we cannot recognize contemplation or ultimate dimension. So, but James Finley acknowledge our inner world are so large and so ultimate dimension. Yeah, our inner world is ultimate dimension. But we should not put boundary between subject world or object world. We should do not think binary. We should not think about something in binary way. It is a dualism, and so ultimate dimension means there's no boundary, there's no block, there's no guard, there's no gatekeeper. And ultimate dimension means there's no boundary or and the blocks. So we can recognize ourselves. No subjective, no objective, but just feel space, just feel time. Of course, those space and time is beyond real space and time. And in contemplation, we can see every real world, every physical world, every kind of a secular thought are small. We can see every worldly event as small. And in ultimate dimension, we don't judge anything. And James Finley described his spiritual journey with his deep, cruel experiences. And so, if you have various trauma, it's hard to accept your own pain. Sometimes accepting your experiences bring you very severe condition. Some bad imagination flash back to your mind. But trauma is a journey. So this book does not guide us how to heal our wound, how to heal our trauma. But this book describe trauma is a journey of spirituality. And the trauma is of course negative, but in his perspective, God meet us in our deep heart, where we feel pain and wound and suffering. This is a philosophy of his, and so this is good for spiritual journey. And if you have various trouble, and this book teach you how to regard your suffering. So please don't heal your trauma by yourself, but just live in your spiritual journey. This is a book for spiritual journey. So thank you for watching.